Do you remember any certain major events during the civil rights movement?
Well, for me, yes, because um, I lived in Dallas, and I remember when this wasn't specifically linked to the civil rights, but I was in Dallas when President Kennedy was killed,
Mhm.
and a lot of my classmates had gone to the parade, and he had been an advocate for civil rights. Um, and then also when I was at the end of high school, I went and lived in Marianna, Arkansas for a while, and it was their first year of integration. This was in the 70s, and integration had not taken place in this small town. And so it had a really big impact on me because I saw how the black students were treated. There was, but it was interesting to me because the black students were very friendly and warm to me, but they were, the white students, even though there was this whole history of racism in that community, you would think that there would be an openness, but there wasn't. Most of the white parents were very angry. They pulled their kids out and they started a private school, white-only school. And it was really sad to me because, and then I had a unique situation because my uncle who I lived with was the only eye doctor in town, and so everybody went to see him. And every black student, whether I knew them or not, would go in and say, "Mary's my friend," to my uncle. And my uncle was getting madder and madder because me being friends, I had one black friend, but it was such an anomaly for that community that everybody talked about it and said they were my friend, which I didn't have a problem with, but my uncle did because he was a deacon in a local church. And of course, as part of his Christian ideology, you're not supposed to be a bigot racist, but actually he was, very much so. And so every time some black kid would say they were my friend, he would just get angrier and angrier. And so I started doing, this was really, I guess, a radical thing to do, but I decided I wanted to learn more about civil rights movements, and I started bringing things like some of the black seminal books from the Black Power Rights movement. I started bringing things like Soul on Ice and Malcolm X's biography, things like that to school. And keep in mind, this was the first year of integration in a very racist community. So that was my introduction, in a way, to the civil rights movement.
Cool. Would you say that your uncle's would you say your uncle's influence like made you look the other way, or
What do you mean?
so were you affected by your uncle's influence?
No, I was really pretty much set. I made a decision. I wanted to learn about these movements and what was going on myself. And if anything, I looked at the religious bigotry because all religions claim to treat people equally and not be biased, right? But I saw he was an outright racist.